Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
If you're new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button and bell notification.
And for those that have been around, thank you for the continued support. You've seen us kind of traveling all over the world so far. So we just thought we would dive in and make a special episode today about some Q&A questions that you guys had for us on our Instagram. So if you have any other questions in the future, don't forget to drop those questions in our DM boxes or our comments in our Instagrams, and we'll put the handles down below.
Or you will be able to see our Instagram handles on the screen over here. Somewhere over here.
Belly dancer. All right, we're going to dive right into it today, and today's topic is going to be what it is like being a Mexican and Russian couple.
First question is, did you ever think you would marry a Mexican? I was born in Ukraine and my nationality Russian, so of course while I lived in Ukraine I was thinking about getting married with a Ukrainian or Russian guy, but after I moved to US my mindset shifted, so I became more open to different nationalities, countries and cultures. So I started dating based on personality and character, not based on nationality.
So the right personality and character.
Yes.
But you didn't think you would marry me?
Well, I mean, it's before you, right? The question was, did you ever think about getting married with a Mexican? So no, back then, while I lived in Russia and Ukraine, definitely not. Then when I moved to US, I became more open to different cultures and countries. Eventually my mindset shifted. And of course when we met, I already wasn't thinking, oh, he's Mexican or something like that. I cared more about personality.
Yeah, I kind of took on the same perspective. I mean, my background, initially I just thought, really, I'm dating a Russian. So, never thought about it, I never really had a type in the past. But like you said, I cared more about the personality, the type of person that they were. So I was always able to look past that. Always able to look past looks and whatnot. And then a little bit into dating, it just hit me like, oh, this is the first Russian that I ever dated. So it was kind of new to me. It was a whole different culture, whole different ethnicity, whole different mindset. And it was really exciting because I felt like my eyes were kind of really opened up to a whole new world, essentially.
Same with me. You first Mexican I dated.
Growing up, I always hung around Mexicans or Latinos. I mean, there's always, wherever I lived, there was always pockets or little neighborhoods of Hispanic or Latinos communities. And even after moving to Los Angeles, there's still pockets of different ethnicities, and you have little towns and communities of different races. And I've always been drawn, because that's all I've known, is kind of Latinos. But my relatives, aunts and uncles, even my mom, kind of dated outside of their race. So I was kind of, I had color blinders on. I didn't see the color of people, which was kind of cool.
And yes, I definitely agree that in LA there's different neighborhoods where you can go and you're gonna see a lot of Russians, Mexicans, or this Korean town. And I think when you live for a long period of time in the same neighborhood, you kind of get used to it and you're just like, okay, it's my life. If you start like traveling or if you go to different places, you will notice that there's different neighborhoods and different cultures.
You kind of imagine your future life or future wife to go along the same values and relationships and kind of social settings that you were used to growing up. So that's something that I always thought that I would kind of follow in suit, but I fell in love with the person and the personality and the heart rather than looks, and that happened to be you. Our next question is, what's one thing that you have taught each other over the years, either a new perspective or learning something new? Let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So growing up in my life and working and everything like that, I never really traveled. So something that Alex has done and very passionate about is traveled to many different countries. So if you've traveled before, you understand that it's this whole thing, right? It's this grand thing, it's planning. So it's really important to know how to travel and to travel the right way. So when you make plans and itineraries, you can further dive and indulge in someone's culture or communities, no matter where it is.
And I honestly think that if you travel a lot, it helps you grow as a person, and your mindset will change eventually. I noticed it when I moved from Ukraine to Russia, my mindset changed, and then when I moved from Russia to US,
Big culture shock.
Yeah, yes, but then when you adapt, eventually your mindset will change.
But traveling is something that you're passionate about and that you really enjoy sharing with me.
Yes, I love traveling, going to different places, explore.
Yeah, so that's something that Alex taught me that I hold really dear to heart, and that's really precious and valuable and special to me. So what's one thing that I've taught you over the years? Either a new perspective or something new?
First thing will be don't take life too seriously. I always
Virgo.
do. Yes, I'm Virgo and I'm Russian, so yes, I do take everything seriously.
David gets the double whammy.
I need to take it easy sometimes and slow down and don't worry about...
You're just hardworking.
Yes, I am.
That's all it is. You're persistent and hardworking.
Yes. Need to learn how to relax and enjoy life.
Yep.
And also, when I moved from New England, I used to live in the Boston area, I moved to LA. I thought that LA, everything in California is LA. Yes, everything. And honestly, LA is not everything, and it's small part. After we went on our trip around Bay Area, I was like, oh my God, I love it. California looks so nice compared to LA.
There's so much more to California.
Yes.
And what are some of your favorite spots? Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Honestly, things that, like, if you never traveled in Cali and you just lived in LA, you have to get out, at least go to Orange County. It's already a big difference between LA and Orange County, right?
See?
Yeah.
She's already a local. She's calling it Cali. But I took personal offense being born and raised in California, so that's why I made it my personal mission to take you all throughout California so you can enjoy the West Coast for its true beauty and everything it has to offer.
Yes, and we still have a lot to explore.
Yep.
Yes, it was just one trip around Bay Area. Changed my opinion about LA and California.
Changed your life.
Changed my life, yes. So the next question from our Instagram Q&A. Where has been your favorite place you have traveled together?
Ooh, ladies first.
Okay, so I would say New York.
New York was a good one.
Yes, because David never been to New York. Actually, you've been once for work.
Yeah, but I don't think it would really count.
Yeah,
I was
because
there for a few days.
And you was spending all time inside the building, right? So yeah, I wanted to take him because when I lived in the Boston area, I traveled to New York and I visited New York maybe like 15 times. I loved it. I loved Manhattan. So I was like, let's go. And it was good opportunity. It was New York Fashion Week. So we decided to go, and I was happy to share everything, like Manhattan, Manhattan in Manhattan.
We did have Manhattans and Manhattans. It's a little bit of drinkception for you right there. But it was so cool. As you guys saw in one of our latest vlogs, our trip to New York Fashion Week, it was David's first time in New York. It was just some small glimpses as to what we experienced while we were there in New York. And overall, I mean, from Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty,
9/11 Memorial.
9/11 Memorial, and we actually went on the 20-year anniversary, so it was a very special day that day.
9/11, 9/11. 9/11 Memorial. Top of the Rock?
Yeah,
Yes.
Top of the Rock in Rockefeller Square.
Center.
Rockefeller Square.
Center.
Rockefeller Square is where it is. It's called Rockefeller Square. It's Rockefeller Building.
Okay, wait, I'm Googling.
See? Virgo. This is going in there.
Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said square. You did say square.
As always, she's right.
I was like, am I
Go on
wrong?
the bloopers.
I think it's bloopers. Maybe we just leave it.
Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, and we went to Top of the Rock, which is the Rockefeller building. It was really, really cool. It was a really awesome experience. I loved it. I got to see every different walk of
Walking
life.
to Times Square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Times Square,
Mhm.
and even taking the subway. That was probably the most adventurous and spontaneous fun that we had on the entire trip.
Yes. So what was your favorite place we traveled together?
As much as I loved New York, I would have to say Hawaii. Being new to traveling, I would say Hawaii because it was both of our first times there. So we were both experiencing a first for the first time, and it was also our honeymoon. So you can't go wrong with there.
No, it was amazing.
I mean, a week long in paradise, Mai Tais, we had great seafood, we met a lot of cool people.
Yes, we went to the falls. It was awesome.
Yep, we went to
Manoa Falls and then another big one.
2 different waterfalls. We pretty much hit every beach on the island.
Yes, it was amazing.
It was really nice.
And we have to edit that vlog.
Yeah.
Yes. We're so behind, we have to edit a lot.
We're coming at it. 2022, coming hard. This is the exclamation point to start off the year. Next question from Instagram Q&A comes to us saying, what were, if you had any expectations going into the relationship? That's interesting. What do you think?
Well, I didn't have any expectations because I was not planning to date or planning to date seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
It is important not to expect a lot, but be open-minded, in my opinion.
Yeah, open-mindedness is probably my number one thing for expectations. I mean, I just think that if you are single and you are going into a new dating or relationship situation, that you have to remember that you've been on your own for so long. So there are the other person's feelings and mindset and opinions to kind of consider. And you have to be considerate of that other person.
Yes,
It's just kind of, so I wouldn't say that we had any real expectations. As long as you were a foodie like me and you like to watch TV and movies, that's a big thing that we share in common, and we love going to the theater, the cinema. We like snuggling up on the couch and watching some Netflix or a new movie that came out, because from an actor's and filmmaker's perspective, that's something that we share.
Yes.
Is kind of being able to watch it from like an audience, a regular fan watching a movie, and from a filmmaker / actor's perspective as well. So it kind of gives us this cool dynamic complex of being able to break down TV and film, which kind of something that we hold special.
Yes, I agree.
Speaking of expectations, something that I notice personally in social settings is Alex never changes. Literally, it doesn't matter who you're hanging out with, how many people, whether it's one other person, 1,000 other people, you're always going to get the genuine, raw, uncut, unfiltered version of Alex. Or when she's tired, she'll let you know she's tired. When she's having a great time, she's dancing or laughing her butt off. And it's just, you know, I kind of shift and will change in different social settings depending on who I am around. Because I've just been in so many different social settings. I always can adapt and change and find something relatable to anybody. But in these parties, I love how Alex just keeps it real.
Yeah, because I feel like if people will like me, they're supposed to like me for who I am. I don't need to like pretend, adjust, or adapt.
Not who you were at that particular party.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Just be yourself.
It's a fun contrast that we have. The next question comes to us from Instagram is, what was your first impression of David's family?
Well, first time I met David's family when they drove from the Bay Area down here for David's brother's graduation.
Yep, USC med school, Keck, whoop whoop.
Yes.
Shout out.
And they were super nice, very friendly, and honestly, almost right away, I felt like part of the family. And I think all Mexicans probably like that. They're very family oriented and they take you into the family right away. Because even like your aunties, they never met me, only on the Zoom call. They already like, oh, I love you.
Sending boxes and gifts and presents, just like to show that they care or love us or remember us, and just
Yeah.
kind of welcoming Alex to the family.
Yeah.
And I can't speak for most Mexican families, but I feel like I've always grown up in that culture where my family is just always, if they really like you and you're genuine, then they don't really hesitate to kind of put their guard down and break down those walls, because they could kind of see how special, and just by the way that I looked at you, that you were really important to me from the very beginning.
Yes, and I almost right away felt like daughter or sister, because David has brother and sister, so
Yeah.
it was super nice. Then when we decided to get married, David's dad walked me down the aisle.
Yeah, that
Because
was super special.
it was so special. Oh my god. Yeah, because my parents couldn't make it.
David was crying. So, David was crying like a baby, not Alex.
I was happy. I was super happy. What about you? What do you think?
Oh my gosh. So when I was meeting Alex's family, I have only met them over Zoom, but for the first time it was Zoom on New Year's Eve, and I was extremely nervous. I was like sweating. I couldn't even hold the phone. I was so nervous. But they were super warm, super welcoming, super loving, and they couldn't wait to ask me like all these questions about my family and what I've been doing and just kind of the things that I like. So I thought that was super special and unique, because they really never met me still to this day in person, but they really embraced your relationship, well, our relationship. They really embraced our relationship as a couple. And I never felt any weird, like, because of me being Mexican or anything.
Yeah, no, yeah. And we eventually gonna go. We're gonna go to Russia.
Yeah.
Just because of COVID, it was more difficult.
I didn't know how serious and where this was going to lead, but as we did start getting closer and more serious, I actually have a confession. I tried to contact her sister and mom to ask her hand in marriage, but I couldn't do it, and I don't speak Russian. So Alex kind of had to help me and set that up. So she didn't know exactly what was going on, but it was leading up to me proposing. Go back on what you said about my family, how they perceived you. My mom really saw how happy I was for probably the first time in my life, she was saying, and how over the moon and fulfilled and just kind of focused, and I really had a clear vision of my future. And so I think she really understood that we were probably going to end up being married.
Moms know, and mom all.
When we first started dating, we didn't really go into it thinking long term. We both got out of long term relationships pretty recently before, so that's our advice. No, I don't want you coming on our channel and thinking that, hey, David and Alex said, don't go into it expecting serious relationship.
No. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen, you know.
As long as it happens organically and you don't force it, I think that that's one of the most important things.
Yes, and I remember when we started dating and I was talking to my sister about you and my mom. I remember that it was like Googling David, checking out his
Really?
Facebook, Instagram, yes.
What did they say? What did they find?
Oh, remember that video on Instagram with the monkey you had? They really liked it. It was so cute.
Oh, they found that on Google?
Well, on
Oh,
Instagram.
Instagram?
On Instagram,
Okay.
yes. David has a video with the monkey.
Yep.
So cute. Crystal, right?
Yep, from The Hangover and Night at the Museum. Check it out.
Check it
I can
out
put a
on
link to the
David's
video.
page. The next question is, what's the funniest thing David or Alex has done that made you laugh?
Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. What do you think? What's something that made you laugh that I did
Well,
or said?
there's always something, but one recent one.
I'm a character. Always
we-
on your toes.
Yes, always. So we went to visit David's family for the Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we was planning to visit your auntie, and we had present for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that you was packing it at your mom's place, and you
Yes.
took the bag and you left the room. And I was like, okay,
Oh,
David
no.
will go and put it in a car, so I'm okay, right? I don't need to control it or check on it. So I'm like, okay, fine. So we went to hotel rooms the next day. We like woke up and we like, okay, we're gonna go visit your aunt right now. And then I'm like, where's the gift? Is it in the car? And then no, it's at my mom's place. So he left it. He packed it in one room, he took it, and he left it in a living room. He didn't bring it to the car. And like, oh my god, we have to drive to your mom's place now, pick it up, and then drive to your auntie because we didn't have it. And I thought he put it in a car. And I have to always like check on David.
Double check,
because if I'm not gonna double check, there's always gonna be something missing or not finished.
Well, first off, in my defense, I moved the gift to the front door. So when we left, we actually went to the garage. So that doesn't even count.
Yeah.
It wasn't a smart move. But every time that I make one mistake, every single decision for that entire day, she has to double check it. She's like, are you sure you did this right? Are you sure? Let me see. Show me that you did it. So it's really funny because once I do that one mistake, I know that I'm going to hear it for the rest of the day, which is kind of funny because we both know that it's coming.
Yes.
Well, I have a good one.
Okay.
The funniest thing that you do that cracks me up every time, besides everything that you do, is what about your love-hate relationship with spice?
I love spices.
So we get pho all the time. I introduced Alex to pho. A long story short, she loves to put too much sriracha and way too many jalapenos in it. And every time, what do you say? You say, oh my gosh, this is too spicy.
Not all the time. It's used to be more often than now. Now I get used to it. So I actually love it. Yes.
Well, that's another thing that when we were at Christmas just for my family a few days ago, you were sampling the food that my mom was making.
Yes.
So my mom made a bunch of different dishes for Christmas, and she made a lot of Mexican dishes, and she happened to make one, chile verde, if you're familiar, and she made it probably the spiciest she's ever made it. So here I am, my mom, me, my sister, my dad, all saying how it's way too hot. And what did you do? You're over there having spoonfuls of it.
Yes, I tried it and I loved it. I thought that it was great. It was spicy, but it wasn't like over the top spicy.
She said it wasn't spicy enough.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was perfect, honestly. Yeah.
Well, the rest of my family, the Mexicans who made it, are sweating bullets. And Alex is just sitting there chilling.
Yeah.
So you have this funny love-hate relationship with spice.
Yes. No, not love-hate. I actually love it. Yeah.
She can handle more spice than the Mexicans. It's embarrassing, guys. But if you do date a Russian, find one that loves Mexican food and spice.
So another story, before Christmas, I remember I was not feeling good. I got cold, but I was not sure, so I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling good, so let's go get pho.
She loves pho.
Yes, I love pho, and it's if you have hangover, it's great.
Alex will look at the smallest reason to get pho. If your eyes watery, if you sneeze, if you cough, she's like, oh my gosh, maybe you're getting sick. I think we need to go get pho.
So yes, that day I wasn't feeling great, so I'm like, let's get pho. So we got it, and I was like putting sriracha, jalapeno, even more than usual.
You guys, she put like 5 jalapenos and half a bottle of sriracha into her pho.
Yes.
And what happened?
And so I'm eating it, and I'm like, you know what? I can taste it. I'm like, I don't know why. I mean, I did had runny nose. Maybe that's why, but so I'm like, oh my god, what if I have COVID? I can taste it because I really put a lot, and David like looking at me like, you scared me right now because it was like a lot. He's like, you can taste
we had
it.
a lot of work coming up, and so I was like, this would be the absolute worst time to get COVID. So what was it, 10, 11 at night?
Yeah.
David had to drive to like 3 different pharmacies because COVID tests were sold out everywhere.
Yes.
We found one box. I don't think I should say the name of the store.
That doesn't matter.
I found one box at one store. It was like the 5th store I went to that had one last COVID test, and it had 2. So I brought it back home. We took the test. We separated rooms in case that she had COVID, and it turns out it was negative, and all she had was a cold.
Yes.
Which is, if you know, or if you Google, if you have a common cold, one of the symptoms It's not being able to taste or smell.
Yes, but because it's one of the symptoms for COVID and it's COVID pandemic, I thought maybe I have COVID, you know. And then we did a couple more tests. It was negative, so I definitely didn't have COVID, but yeah, it was funny. It was
Freaking out in Santa David all around Los Angeles looking for one COVID test.
yes.
That's fun. Our last question for today's Q&A is going to be when/how did you know that they were the one? This is a very interesting one. And do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I knew probably about a month into us dating that Alex was probably going to be the one, because we were dating, about a month, and I got into this bad car accident. So Alex had been working 12 hours on set, and I let her know that I got in a car accident and that I was okay, but my car wasn't okay. So working 12, 13 hours on set.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I worked far. It was like at least
70
30 miles away. Yes.
70, 75 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was living in Orange County at the time, but little did I know, she just dropped everything and she was like, as soon as I'm off, and you got off around that time when I messaged you, right?
No, it was a couple hours later, but it was after 9 p.m.
Okay, so it was a couple hours later. She had been on set 12, 13 hours, and she said, I'm coming to you. And I didn't ask her to, I didn't mention anything, I just let her know that I was okay. And that's kind of the first time I saw just how gentle and sweet and genuine and honestly selfless Alex was. And that's when I kind of started to feel and know in my heart and in my gut that she was going to be the one.
Well, I would say that I knew almost right away as well that you was the one, because I had that feeling, love at first sight. I knew it right away. Yeah, just that feeling, you know, you just know. That's how I knew.
When your boy's got it, he's got it.
Yes.
I think just from the very beginning, we kind of clicked, and our values, our morals, just everything kind of lined up with each other, and we complemented each other in the best of ways.
Yes, I agree. And I just love your personality.
And the rest is history. Just kind of our happily ever after.
I love that I don't have to pretend to be someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I can be me. I think it's important.
What do you say? This is our safe zone?
Yes,
Safe zone.
no judgment zone.
No judgment zone. So whatever happens outside of there, our thing is this is our judgment-free zone. No judge zone.
No judgment zone.
But just in general, when looking for a relationship, there's just certain characteristics that you vibe and click with, and you don't necessarily always have to have this like dream, fantasy, like prince in shining armor or like princess type person. Just someone who's going to take the time and have the patience and just kind of listen to what you're saying and how you're feeling.
I agree. I totally agree. Yes.
So I feel like that's just kind of what kickstarted us personally, our relationship, into that more permanent ring zone. We did it at the same time. So you guys were just on the same page. We didn't rehearse that.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything filmed from one take.
Yep.
That's all for today, guys.
We're gonna do more Q&As for you guys in the future, so don't be afraid to comment or hesitate to drop a comment down below or a DM on our Instagrams.
We hope you enjoyed this video.
Don't forget to like,
comment,
and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.